What's up, guys? They didn't listen, did they? And the result is what we've got for Season 2 of Tekken 8. I didn't want to make this video immediately. I wanted to play a lot before I made this video so I could have a more rounded opinion of what I feel about the game. I didn't want to just look at the patch notes and make a video. I wanted to play it first because what I saw in the patch notes made me pretty tilted, to say the least. Not even tilted, just super disappointed, right? Before I go over the stuff that I want to cover in this video, I want to mention a few good things. Jin's 2-on-4, down 2 and up forward 2 did get nerfed. That is really good. The sidestep buff is still really good. It does feel good to sidestep, even though we can't sidestep now. And also Jin, even though he did get nerfed, he got buffed a ton. So the UI I thought was going to be intrusive, but it's actually not very intrusive. I was worried about it being too easy to hit confirm counter hits, like strings, like Laws 111, for example, or Kuma 111. It's actually fine. I think that's kind of good, especially it's good for spectating and new players. And knowing if something is a punish or not is also good. I could also talk about how chip damage is less, especially when people are in raid, which is a super good thing. And you definitely feel that at the end of round. Sidestepping into the foreground is good. I do like that. Makes some obnoxious situations a little bit easier to deal with. Even though we'll talk about sidestepping a bit later, but that is good that you can sidestep into the foreground now. So there are some good things with this patch. It's just that it's very heavily outweighed by a lot of the negatives in this patch, and we're going to go over them, but there's a lot to go over. But the combination of the patch notes and what they've done is basically Tekken 8 is now just like way more forced 50-50s and adding a ton new moves to just patch holes and character weaknesses. Kazuya now has sidestep 1+2, homing high. There's plus on block. He should never, in my opinion, have a homing high. He should never have a homing move that's plus on block. Especially into mix, right? So, yeah, I'm not happy about that. And then, if you're going to do that, at least don't give him an up forward 1, which is a homing mid safe on block. Yeah, patching holes and characters' weaknesses has never been something that I enjoy. I enjoy characters that have specific weaknesses and specific strengths, right? They have to find weaknesses, to find strengths. You play off the strength to make up for the weaknesses the character has, right? That's what makes the character interesting and leads to a lot of depth and dynamic offense and defense, right? So Kazuya's sidestep 1+2 and upward 1 is a good example of that. Reina's new low is a good example of that, right? Reina's drawback was always that her lows were quite risky if you want to gain a lot of reward from the low, right? Now she has a -12 low, which on counter hit guarantees Sentai 3, a heat engager, which is something that I don't agree with, right? I play Kazuya and Reina; they're basically my main characters, so you know I ain't really I'm kind of biased, but in the other way, to the way you might expect, right? I don't want them to be super strong and well, it's not even about strength. I don't want them to cover every single option that my defender has to counter it. Paul has a 10-frame punish. He's never had a 10-frame punish. Brian, and this is where we get to like characters' identities just come like really stripped away. Like I already mentioned Kazuya, but Brian now has a full crouch game with a -12 low that wall splats on counter hit. Yes, he's a counter hit character, but he should never have a low that's -12 and is +7 on hit, right? He has a full crouch game now, so he has the full crouch hatchet, and he has his Northern Cross is now knocks down as well, right? Brian, the guy that when you get to the wall, right, he has the taunt. That's what the taunt is for. Taunt back 4 jet upper. That is to re-wall splat, not a hatchet and Northern Cross at the wall. That's just not what Brian should have, in my opinion. And you know, we could get into all the characters, like Clive now becoming Scorpion from MK. He can also do his special move from Zantetsuken with back to confirm, which is kind of insane. He can do a counter hit forward 1+2, which is +4 on block mid. Now counter hits for a 60 damage for a single hit, which is kind of insane. King is literally final boss now. Homing throws are back with King. Leo's got some insane pressure. I've seen a ton of clips on Twitter, and it seems like the only counterplay to certain things that he does is to power crush. There seems to be a lot of guessing going on right now, and I just don't think it's very healthy for a game as deep as Tekken, right? I've always enjoyed character depth. And now it's just kind of being stripped away. VDX actually showed what layered offense and defense is in his video, just with a few interactions, what that can look like. I suggest checking it out. But just to kind of paraphrase what he said, because I can't really, to be honest, his explanation is the best way I can really describe what layered offense and what layered defense is, right? So I'm going to use the same example that he used in his video. I'm 100% copying him. I will link I will leave a link in the description for his channel. Go check him out. He always does really good in-depth analysis on what Tekken is and how to like delve into the nitty-gritty of what you're actually doing. Not just the surface Tekken, but the deep layered Tekken, you know what I mean? A lot of really cool stuff. I suggest checking him out. So let's say, for example, right, Kazuya is the guy. I'm going to use Kazuya because I play him a shit ton. If you watch any of my streams, you know that I play this character all the time. Right, so you can see everything is being sidewalked to the left. Right? Even electrics get sidestepped to the left. Or sidewalked to the left, right? So, as the aggressor now, my job is to get them to stop stepping, right? I've got a down forward 2, which is -12, right? So it's not super safe. It's an amazing button, but it's not super safe. If I want to be safer, what I'll do as a Mishima player, right? We have this wave dash. This is to realign with the opponent, right? This is what it's for. This is the whole purpose. Dash electric. Right? If they're just sidewalking, you know, a little bit and then blocking, then I'll do a dash electric. Right, like this. That's layer 2, offense and defense, right? Now what your opponent might do now to counter that offense is they might sidewalk duck. Right? If I can get my electric. Right. So I beat everything on immediate timing. Beats everything on immediate timing, right? And it will beat forward moves if you do it correctly, right? Now I'll be able to block again, right? So now what the Kazuya player has to do is either commit to a -12 homing, right? Which on normal hits, it's +5, so it's pretty good, but it doesn't give you a huge reward, right? So if the Kazuya player now wants to gain like a massive reward, what they can do, and this is like probably the coolest thing I think that Kazuya can do, is this while standing 2, it's instant while standing 2 cancel, right? It's hard to do, right? But it feels fucking good when you get it, right? And this is a call out, right? This is -18. So you're getting launched if you fuck this up. But it's super fucking cool. And it gives the character tons of depth, right? That's like 3 layers of offense and defense just from, you know, how Kazuya approaches his opponent, right? And as the Kazuya player, what you can do to shut down your opponent's defense, and as the defender, what you can do to shut down Kazuya's offense, right? It creates a lot of mind games, a lot of nuance, and a lot of depth to these few interactions that we're having, right? Now, with his upward 1, that's all you do to shut all of that defense down. This is just a prime example of simplifying Tekken, like at its core, which I just heavily disagree with. Disagree with is the wrong word. I just heavily dislike it. What I just showed you, and PDX, when he puts up his video, he will go into this and explain what I'm about to say, which is just that it's fun. It's just super fun to do. I won't say much more than that because this isn't an analysis video. I'm just kind of giving you my thoughts on the patch so far. And this is basically how I summarize Season 2. It's just press your buttons and guess right or guess wrong. If you guess right, congratulations. If you guess wrong, commiserations. It's not great because everybody basically has the same strengths now and virtually no weaknesses. There's more damage in everything. Buff sidesteps is super good, and it does feel good to sidestep, but who are you sidestepping now with everybody having plus on block homing highs or homing mids or safe homing mids? It's like if somebody has a homing high, people might be like, just duck it, bro, just duck it. But what if they have a linear mid hit confirmable heat dash heat engager heat dash launcher? Like, are you stepping now? Are you ducking now? If you are, you're basically doing a 50-50 on its own, just there. So, yeah, I like to do everything and take, like, I think people misunderstand a lot of the time what is like a safe defense, right? Option selecting, fuzzy ducking. These are like safe ways of countering most of your opponent's options, right? Most of the character you're going up against, their options, right? Whether it be from a stance or just in the neutral, what are their key buttons? What buttons does that character like to use? If they have like a homing high plus on block, along with like a safe mid hit confirmable heat engager heat dash launcher, it kind of shuts down everything you're gonna do, right? So that's Anna as an example. Anna has that, although I don't think Anna is the biggest problem in this patch. It kind of feels like now it's just a case of I like this character's animations, so I'm going to play them, rather than this character plays interestingly. They have this stuff, but they don't have that stuff. That's kind of cool. I'm going to try and make this work, because the stuff that they do have, I'm really good at using that, right? I'm really good at whiff punishing. Let me play this character. Or like, I'm not very good at whiff punishing, but I'm good at block punishment. So I'm going to play a whiff punish character to try and up my whiff punishment. You see what I'm saying, right? There's specific purpose of playing different characters, but if everybody has like long range half screen homing moves, homing mids, it kind of just like removes that whole improvement aspect of Tekken, you know? So yeah, I mean, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I'll continue. Where was the defensive buff, bro? In the Evo FGC video that came out before the Tekken talk, I think it was Evo FGC or FGC Evo or whatever it was called. It was like a prequel to the Tekken talk, and they literally said in there that we're going to focus on defensive buffing in this patch. So I think a lot of Tekken players feel a little bit blindsided by the patch, because we expected like a tone down to heat, a tone down to like all the oppressive frames and oppressive moves. But we kind of got the exact opposite, right? So it's actually quite confusing, because a lot of people use the argument that this game is made for casuals, right? That this game is made for casuals now. But I don't know if I even see that being the case, because the stuff that's super busted right now, like Jack's 2-1 up forward, or Paul's unblockable Paul has now an unblockable sequence, and all these like frame loops that people are doing. A beginner isn't doing that. Like, they're just not doing that. If you want to be able to use this like broken shit that's in the game right now, you still have to have a certain level of a certain knowledge and understanding of what the way the game works and the way the mechanics work, like knowing what a homing move is, for example, or like knowing what frames are, right? So a beginner and casuals, they're not gonna like, if a casual is going into all the frame data and learning what like a frame trap loop is with certain characters that are completely busted now, like like Jack's 2-1 up forward and Leo's frame loops now, that's like, to me, that's not casual anymore. Now you're just like a Tekken player. So I don't understand who this game is for now. Let me know what you guys think about that, because it's really confusing me. I can't see it being aimed at casuals with the stuff that's actually broken, right? You do have like single moves that are super busted, right? That you can just do one button attacks, but you have stuff that's like frame loops and people literally can't do anything but like power crush. And to do that stuff, you have to have a certain understanding of the frames and everything. They might be intermediate players if you can do that. I'm sure like intermediate players can do that, but casuals, no, I don't think so. I don't think casuals and beginners are going to be doing that. I don't think that they, I don't think casuals would care enough about frames and stuff if they're just jumping on the game for a few hours, once every 2 weeks or whatever. And beginners, at a beginner level, you're not doing that. Like, the beginners that I see, a lot of them don't really understand frame data. Which is fine, by the way. This isn't a slate to beginners or anything, but I just don't think they're using the broken shit that's now in the game. So I don't know who the game is really aimed at anymore. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. I will say, as a last note, before I end this video, which is kind of a ramble, but, you know, I'm just trying to give my thoughts on the game after a few days of playing it. If somebody is enjoying the game and you're not enjoying the game, don't go out of your way to go and talk shit to them. That is immature and it's not going to be productive. It doesn't bring anything productive to the table. We won't get what we want going that route. We won't get any changes that we want. It's just being super toxic, and like a lot of the people who are like the game right now, like most people who don't like the game right now are Tekken players and people that play all the time. If somebody like jumps on for like a couple of hours and likes the game and tweets about it, don't go out of your way to go and talk shit to them just because they like a game that we don't like. It doesn't help anything, and it's not productive. It's just a kind of shitty thing to do, really. So don't go and do that, and also it will make it worse for us. We need this game to thrive, and it's like, man, it's really sad to see. Like, if you've seen the Tekken reviews on Steam, like, oh my god, bro, it's bad. Like, I don't think I've ever seen it this bad. I haven't been playing Tekken for that long. I've been playing Tekken for about 5 years, but I've never seen it this bad before. In terms of like Steam reviews and people, you know, being this unhappy with the game. I'm one of those people, right? So it's very sad. Obviously, I don't like seeing a game I love, like, I don't say like dying, but I don't think it'll die. It's just taking a very big downhill trajectory that we need to resolve, right? So as I am making the video, the devs have responded on Twitter. There's an emergency patch coming from mid-April to fix Jack and the Paul unblockable. This is not enough, in my opinion. There are so many things that are overpowered. Really, I think they should roll back the patch until they fix a ton of shit. I say fix, nothing's actually broken apart from the Jack and Paul unblockable. But there are so many things that I just don't like about this patch. I know that most of you don't like them either. They have said there are more changes coming. They're listening to community feedback. But honestly, with it being this bad and the Steam reviews and everything, I would just roll back the patch, bro. Just put it back to Season 1. And we'll do this again in like a month or something. I know they want to prepare for TWT May 9th. But like at this point, it's super bad. It's super bad. I mean, a lot of pro players are probably not going to compete this year in TWT if things stay the way they are. So, yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. I would, you know, Season 1, I think maybe we took it for granted because it was... I would take Season 1. I would take Season 1 Dragonov any day over what we're playing right now. It's not fun. It's not really Tekken. It's just... yeah, I'll stop rambling, but you get the idea, right? Again, don't go talking a load of shit to people that like the game or the devs. It's not gonna help anything. Be constructive in criticism, though. Like, it's okay to criticize the game, and it's okay to be upset. So for people saying, "Oh, stop being a crybaby," it's okay to not like a game, and it's okay to voice your opinion. Because us moaning and crying about it, just not being like nasty. But if we criticize constructively, we will get changes that affect the player base, right? Which are good changes. Just like the chip damage on the throw breaks that they reverted, right? Because nobody wanted that, and everybody voiced that opinion, and it got changed, right? So there is positives to being constructive in criticism. Just don't be, you know, just don't go out of your way to make somebody's day like a lot worse. It's not constructive, it's not productive, it won't get anything changed that you want. And that's what we want, right? We want changes. So yeah, there's just a little side bit at the end because I see some tweets on Twitter like overly nasty, and I just think that's a bit too far. You're not going to get the changes you want, and it's just being a shitty person. That is my ramble and kind of rant over on Season 2. I will be posting more content. I'm still playing the game. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully we get some changes by May 9th before TWT starts. That's going to wrap up the video. Let me know what you guys think. I think I already know what you're going to say in the comments, but Do let me think. Let's start a conversation. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Much love, guys, and I will see you in the next one.